Good evening, one and all. We welcome you to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022 on occasion of World Social Work Month, World Health Month 2022, and World Press Freedom Month 2022. Commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence. Commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, and International Conference on Social Work and Sciences towards One Health and Sustainable Development 2022 in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute and Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. So before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
The blessings of Almighty. We shall continue to today's session. We have with us Joseph Charuplakal. He is head MSW program, School of Social Work, Marian College, Tutikanam, and he is also president of Kerala Association of Professional Workers, Idukki District Chapter, and trainer and consultant in research methodology, especially quantitative research, academic writing using APA 7th edition, etc. We welcome you, Mr. Joseph, for your session on teaching qualitative data analysis in the outcome-based education mode. Over to you for this session.
Okay, thank you very much for the invitation and also for the warm welcome extended. And thank you very much for inviting me to this webinar series, especially to Dr. Ravindra and also to Ms. Mary Florence Prada. So, dear friends, see, today's talk is mainly focused on to teaching qualitative data analysis in the outcome-based mode or outcome-based education mode. Why there is a relevance for a talk on that? Because I have been teaching research methodology for MSW students for the past 5 years. And usually the course, the theory course is in the second semester. And in the fourth semester, they have to submit a research project. While we teach the concepts and theory of research methodology, all the methods we teach, and they seems to have understood and they also pass the exams, usually in good marks. whatever concepts are asked, they answer well. But when it comes to doing research, there seems to have lack of clarity regarding the concepts or how to do research. So, because the usual teaching method was presentation using PPTs or PowerPoint forms, then giving certain assignments, then doing a mini research, etc. But finally, even then, at the end, what capabilities they have developed, what skills they have developed to do a research is very disappointing. So I thought, and at this time that our college moved to outcome-based education mode in all its formats. So we are asked to change our teaching pattern also. So I thought we will change the teaching pattern. How? Because in the earlier mode, in the conventional mode, we would do offering presentations, discussions, and so and so. But with the with the research concepts, mostly they are abstract concepts, and students, especially for those students who are listening to them for the first time, have no idea how to form an idea about what we speak about. Very abstract. So finally, what happens is that they lack clarity regarding that. So I thought of teaching them in a different way. That is what we are going to discuss today. And thus we have developed a 5-session workshop model, or we can also call it a 5-step workshop model. I call it mostly 5 sessions, I suppose, because the entire workshop is organized in the format of sessions. So before talking about that, let me share my screen. Can you make me a co-host so that I can share the screen? Okay, I can.
Yes, sir, you are already.
Already. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah,
is my slide visible?
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So this is teaching qualitative data analysis in the outcome-based mode. So the traditional mode, already I spoke about it. And therefore, what I feel is, so the concepts are abstract. So we need to, in order to ensure learning, we need to make it more concrete, more tangible, more sensory, where their senses are involved, where they feel they do something and create something visible, something tangible, something concrete, so that it remains in their memory. So that's what we have done. So outcome-based mode, whatever we teach, whatever they learn, they should be able to apply. That is the outcome-based mode. They must be able to do something. There must be something to understand. Something is not the outcome, but that understanding should lead them to do something, apply in the concrete situations. That's what we expect as outcomes. So ensuring outcomes. So the present model is a two-day workshop model. It's a 5 sessions workshop model actually. So even in the workshop model, the participants, the students are divided into groups of 5 or 6 members each, not more than 6. And entire research methodology or the data analysis, qualitative data analysis is taught in activities only, no lecturing. So that they start doing it. And also it's also intended to engage the multiple intelligences, because students having different intelligence, multiple intelligences. They must be able to, so that all people should be actively involved in the process. Okay. Unfortunately, the power has failed here. No issues. We will continue. So it is 5-session workshop model. And in the first session, what we do is we start formulating a research problem. So students in the groups are asked to formulate a research problem so that on which they can collect data, they can analyze it and learn data analysis. That's it. So how, especially about qualitative research, when they formulate the problem, usually they tend to frame it or formulate it in the quantitative format. The vocabulary they use, the ideas, the concept they use, everything is naturally, they tend to be more quantitative. Now, so in each group, when they present their problem, so we'll ask questions. So whether it is qualitative, quantitative, and guide them, will help them to form a qualitative research problem which is suitable for qualitative inquiry. And again, what type of inquiry? Whether it should be a case study, it should be a grounded theory approach, or it should be a phenomenology approach. So whatever it is. So for a narrative, so we'll guide them. So actually that guiding is happening in groups. We go to one groups one by one, then clarify each group's doubts, so they get more clarity. So it's a more personalized type of mentoring. Then once the problem is formulated, then they are asked to collect data, and this time this data is collected from among themselves, from the group itself. There are 5 or 6 members in the group. So the problem they formulate also will be common to all of them. Only then they can collect data from each other. So they collect. And again, when they start interviewing, how to interview, how to probe deep into the questions or deep into the matter, so that we can have in-depth data. So those probing questions, otherwise what happens is that they ask questions and the answers would be very short, maybe in few words or few sentences, which are not actually good for qualitative data analysis. So we don't go very deep. So help them to develop interviewing skills first, then collect data. And while they collect data, they have to write it down. And how to write it down? They are asked to bring A4 size white papers. So on the one side of the paper, and each sentence on a separate line with sufficient line space. Then, so once they write it down, of course, already since we are taking it in writing, automatically transcription is there, all the text is there. So we don't need another transcription exercise. Otherwise, we have to transcribe the entire data. Suppose they record it, then they may have to transcribe it into written text. So this is the first stage. The session 1, they formulate a research problem, they collect qualitative data among themselves, then they transcribe if needed. In the session, then we move on to the session 2. In the session 2, we come together, all the groups come together. Then, and here we are going to have a demonstration of analysis of data collected by any one of the groups, so that they understand. For that, we have a lot of, they bring a lot of chart papers, glue, scissors, and also the data or the data they have already written down on white papers. Now they will have to organize that entire data under any one area of the research. In any one area of the research, maybe, or any one under any one objective of the research. And they have data collected from maybe 5 or 6 respondents as per the size of the group. Then each respondent, the response of each respondent is brought here under the one heading, one objective, or the objective selected for grouping it now for the demo. They group it there, they paste all the responses under that heading. So about one objective, we have collected data from so many respondents, and all those responses are brought under one place, because it is remaining into as per the respondent now in different places. Now everything is brought under one place, one heading, and it is very visible for everyone. It is there in the chat paper now. And of course, why they write their names? Of course, they don't write the real names of the respondents. They anonymize the respondents by giving pseudonyms. Now, once or everything is pasted on the chat paper, now they go by sentence, and see what code can be given to that, or what is the matter or the content of that sentence. That is indicated by a code. That code is written down just against that. Maybe in one word, sometimes in one word or 2 words, or sometimes a few words, depending upon the nature of the content. Then, once the entire data are coded, then we look for the similarities of these codes. Sometimes many codes may have certain similarities. Then we group those similar codes into one category. We call it category. So that's creating categories. Then once we have categories are formulated, then we go text by text in the various codes under the categories, and again the detailed text. Then we may be able to identify patterns which will lead to the generation of themes. That is what is demonstrated, and we will see how that picture is here. Yeah, and here is an example where participants have written down under the. This is actually the group was studying the experience of body shaming. Then they write what are the their experience for one heading. Mostly there are the feelings. So they brought all the responses together under one place, pasted out on the chat paper. Then they start writing by sad, painful, angry, or they felt themselves bad about themselves, though they felt they were good for nothing. And there were so many such. This was painful for them. An initial response was sad, then painful, then it was they got angry, and they lost their self-worth, and they lost lost confidence, and they felt so insecure, especially in the public, in front of others. They felt that they are rejected by others. See, and there were many codes, but finally we have grouped them into 5 or 6 categories, and they were all brought under. So you can also see the marks indicating similar codes. This is another example, another group which has performed. They have first coded, and they have grouped them under similar codes were grouped under certain categories. A common name was given to the category, and under this all the codes which have similarity are brought under there. So the categories are formed. Now, in the session 3, groups are actually dispersed into their own groups. Now they have to start analyzing the data in the model already demonstrated. So they will be moving into different places, and they'll be start bringing all the grouping or organizing all the data under one heading or under one area of inquiry. So they will be cutting and pasting it in the chat paper, and there are a lot of group dynamics. They will be discussing each other which fits for that, which is whether that fits under that heading or not. All those discussions will take place, and also I'll be moving or visiting all these groups and clarifying the doubts. And actually for coding also there is what code will be given to each chunk of data. So that's one they will be discussing. It is not one person's idea in coding also. So that discussion is taking place. So whatever they code will have a certain, it will be more meaningful or more close to the content of the data. Again, another step is finding out the categories or grouping the similar codes. So which codes will go together? That's again a discussion taking place. What is the logic of that? What different logics will be discussed? On what merit they will be similar? On what merit they will be they are not similar? And finally, they bring them together into various categories. So categories are formed. So means our data is reduced again earlier into codes, now into a few categories. There were so many codes, now only very few categories. And by this time, a lot of questions the group will be asking. And it is good that it is that time that we are really active, and they are also really like the curiosities are aroused. They are in need of knowledge. They are in need of knowing how to do it. And that time when we say something, they understand it very much. Otherwise, in a large group, when we speak about a lot of things, actually they don't understand. But here, automatically we have created a need for knowledge. Now there is a demand from their side. They ask questions. Now, so we found that learning is taking place. Whatever we say, they they really understand because they want to do something. Then, once the categories are created, they are again led further to find out the patterns across the cases. What type of patterns? What type of similarities across cases? What is the process? And once those patterns are identified, it's easy for them to formulate the themes, find out the themes. So, and finally, once the themes are arrived, again, everyone comes back to the common session. Then they present their themes or the analysis, how they have done it. Sometimes it is not only just text, the spoken words they have analyzed. Now, sometimes they are analyzing images also. You can find students organizing images. What images go under one? Because these students are studying the images in the textbooks. How do they systematically perpetuate the conventional norms of gender roles? Especially in the ICSE, CBSE, and NCERT textbooks, the images, how they are. So that's what they are doing. And now, after once they have made their presentations, we move on to the fourth session. Actually, in this session, we are discussing the meaning of the themes which they have. They have arrived at the themes. Now, we move on to the discussions ahead of the results or the themes. So they discuss the themes with respect to the context in which the study was conducted, the existing literature, and the future implications of the findings. Actually, in the APF or in the research methodology, report academic writing, we discuss the finding or the results in terms of these three implications. So that they will do, and again, and they will try to make formulate abstract general statements based on the themes. Themes itself, there is a general statements. They further try to theorize it or make it as a theoretical statement. That also writing everything into chapterization, writing everything into API format. Then finally they come to present the report. That you can also see it. And this is, we have already seen how they have coded and find out the categories. Now they are writing it. So what they have written, just read, body shaming results in lack of self-worth. While sharing the experience, the people who experienced body shaming shared that they felt bad about themselves and unworthy of themselves. The response opined that they had experienced the feeling of good for nothing. For others, body shaming resulted in breaking down. Okay, lack of self-worth has really affected the confidence of people. Body shaming through comments passed by others have created inferior feeling, which in turn has damaged the self-image of people. Then finally, they're functioning. They feel insecure in front of others, and finally, putting everything together, they have made a summary statement. Emotional breakdown caused due to body shaming affects the comprehensive self-worth and social functioning of people. So that is a kind of theoretical statement they make. You can also see this is another group. They have the you can see that the responses are pasted, then coded, then grouped into different categories, and again finally they present that flow chart and also the final statements. It was very difficult to read. And once they have done that, almost the analysis is all done. Then the section 5, we need to ensure what they have learned. And I said in the beginning that no lecture was given. We are not giving any lecture on what is qualitative data analysis, how to do that, what are the steps. Nothing is explained. But they were led to activities. They were asked to do certain things, and they were engaged with the data they have collected. And now, based on their experience, they were asked to articulate or define the steps in the data analysis process. And all the groups have defined or articulate the various steps which they have learned from their experience of doing a data analysis. Center, you can see data collected, transcribe, read several times, then code, categorize, then from that arrive at themes, then discussion. Then others are written as collected, transcribe, coding under categories, verifying themes, analyze data, and then results discussion, how to do the discussions. Then another group of data collected, transcribe, data audit, coding, then sorting, themes, right, sub-themes, then construction of abstracts or the general statements, then discussion. Actually, these steps are not taught, but when these groups finally were asked to articulate the steps, and they have discussed, and from the basis of their experience, they have done it. So finally, that means they have learned how to do. Now we need not teach them the steps. They have learned it. and they have also analyzed the data. They have followed some steps, and the observation is that students have developed up the skills of qualitative thematic analysis, because mostly it is thematic analysis that we have followed by first-hand experience of doing it by themselves. It's not by we are teaching something by concepts and they have to by heart it or they have to remember it. They have to understand. Not that way. They do something and they understand. They learn. And again, the group dynamics. So much of discussions happening, and so much of queries, so much of questions they had. So that actually really has helped them, and also a lot of cutting and pasting. They are using chat topics is very visible, not abstract things that we are speaking. Then the responses written down, and those papers, the responses were cutting and pasting on chat papers. Then again grouping them. First of all, again marking the codes. Then by drawing the lines to identify similar codes. Again, it is very visual. And again, very kinesthetic, all hands and things, body is involved. A lot of things discussions are happening, which are similar. Again, these things we found that they are really facilitate their learning and also they are memorizing. Because whenever when we discuss about the data analysis, again we have something to recollect. Something visual is there to bring back to the memory. And again, the multiple senses, multiple intelligence are also engaged. So that enhances learning. This is how I now teach qualitative data analysis. That is in short. Because suppose if you want to teach the entire the concept of the qualitative data analysis, it is very vast, very wide. But the minimum, the process can be taught this way. And now they will be, after doing this workshop or this exercise, now they will be asked to read on qualitative research, qualitative data analysis, and we have discussions later in the class. Now, because now that time discussions are very fruitful. Now they know when we say about the code, what is code they know, what is theme they know, what is a category they know, and again the positionalities, everything. So all those things will be discussed. Then learning is easier, because otherwise, which was very abstract, has now all those concepts which were very abstract have now turned very concrete, very tangible, very visible, very memorable items. So that's it in short. Thank you very much. Now, if there are any queries, you are welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Joseph. It was really nice presentation, though very short and simple, but it was very effective. Participants, if you have any queries, you can raise your hand or you can put in chat box or you can unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, Mary.
Mary Florence has raised her hand.
Actually, sir, it's a wonderful presentation. I went back to my MSW days. Actually, we studied a subject now, research methodology. So when I used all these techniques when I prepared dissertation for my MSW. My topic was social functioning and social support of mentally challenged children. I interviewed 400 patients, 400 children's parents. What difficulties they have in bringing this child up, and how their mental status is happy, sad, and all these techniques I did. It took a lot of time, sir. So I followed these of takeaway.
Yes, great, great.
Actually, I learned lot of things from your presentation. Because when we were doing dissertation in MSW, we didn't have someone to explain us so much. We did on our own. If we had have known like this and all, we would have done it more better. Actually, I have visited your college once, sir.
Oh my God, when?
International conference in 2008
Okay,
at
okay, okay.
Mariam Kuttikarnam College. I visited once, sir. But at that time, I was not very confident in presenting paper. I just started as a participant. I came with my mother and went, sir. So
In 2008, I joined for MSW in 2008 actually.
yeah,
I was very late to join MSW.
actually, and I've come to Rajagiri also, sir, Kerala. There also,
Great.
yeah, because I had come for my ISPSW conferences. I'm a life member there, so
Oh, great, great.
so I had come there. That's the memories of me of Kerala.
Yeah, yeah, again, most welcome to Kuttikanam and many parts of Kerala.
Yeah, sir. If given chance, we'll come. But from 2020, we didn't get a chance to go offline because of this pandemic.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was attending all the conferences of ISPSW till 2019. My mother is my best companion for conference.
Oh,
So with 3 days, we'll say them, and last day they will send for sightseeing. So like that, I visited your college also. I visited Rajagiri also. That's how I know Anish sir very well from
yeah.
Rajagiri.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
He had also given a talk in this forum, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I saw his picture.
Yeah, sir. That's it. But it's a lot of knowledge you have, sir. Immense knowledge you have, because immense knowledge you have. Lot of service you have done for the this means for social work. We can see from your PowerPoint, sir. Actually, it was very mind-blowing session for me, sir.
Yeah. What usually happens is that we present what these are the steps, we explain those steps, but only when they really meet with the data, when they encounter with the data, they don't know how to do it actually.
Okay.
That I have found not in one place. I have actually this experiment first took place in one of the colleges in some, not with my students. Then in Trivandrum, then Ernakulam. Then finally only it was done for my students.
With you, sir. Hope to see you once again in our speaker session, sir. God bless you. All the best for your life, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Any other participants would like to interact? You can raise your hand. There is one query from Imtihaz Ahmed. What are the main protocols to follow to present the paper?
Oh, whether the query is directed to me?
Yeah, hopefully. Imtihaz, can you unmute yourself?
Yes. I'm sorry, just power fail, no issues. Okay, sir, please talk.
Good evening, sir. This is Imtiaz. I'm a social work student and working for consultant for this industry. Just I wanted to ask if I want to present a paper in any conferences, and what are the main protocols that to be followed to present the paper, and within a compressed manner, like a 2-3 paper sheets like that. What are the main things to be covered up?
Yeah, thank you, sir. First of all, suppose if you a scientific paper we are going to present, of course, the theme must match with the theme of the conference, of course. Then,
Yeah.
of course, they have given certain guidelines for sending articles or abstract.
Yeah.
You may have to send the abstract, and abstract will clearly say what is the purpose of our paper, or what is the paper has done, major thrust point of the paper. Then of
Yeah.
course the main problem of study. Then the participants of the study, or the respondents, or about whom the study is being conducted. Then the
Yeah.
methodology, method part. So what design, how the participants were selected. Then a small participant description.
Okay.
Again, the design, of course, the tool for that, what tool used, what method used, how the data is collected, what the nature of the data. Then how we have analyzed the data, and what are the results, and what are its implications. At least so, and the keywords must be there. And so actually the abstract has to be sent at the beginning. So this will clearly tell what the study is, how relevant the study is, everything will be. So looking at your abstract, they will select it or not select. Once you are selected, they will be asking, demanding as a full paper. Then for the presentation, that is for the first criteria.
Sure.
Yeah, of course. Again, you can, depending upon the nature of the conference, either you can send either conceptual paper, or we can send empirical papers. Empirical studies or conceptual studies.
Sir, right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your precious suggestions. That will be very helpful to us, especially for the people who are going to be present the papers and abstracts. It is very important, and your guidelines and your guidance is so prominent to our day-to-day life. Thank you so much.
Okay, most welcome, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Imtiaz, for your query. And any other participants would like to interact or have query, you can put in chat box or raise your hand, or you can unmute yourself. There is a lot of appreciation messages in chat box. So I don't think anyone has any query. Very well presented. Thank you, Mr. Joseph, for joining us, accepting our invitation. And hope, can we conduct this, one query from my side. Can we conduct this online, this kind of workshop?
In the online, I have tried once, but it is not that effective, sir. It is offline 2 days. If there are 2 days, we can complete it.
So 2 days, how many hours?
Almost 15 hours.
Okay.
Because it has to, and they have to work in groups. They have to do a lot of exercises, no? That takes time. Sometimes we may have to, depending upon the group, you may have to give their time. You have to respect their time. Some groups are very fast, some groups may not be that fast.
Very well taken, sir. Yeah. Harsha, do you have any query? You have unmuted yourself. Harsha, okay, there are no queries, then we shall conclude. Okay, sir, finally, as a last word, you would like to say something, sir?
Myself,
Yes.
yeah, of course, I'm very happy that I'm here. We have an interaction, we have a sharing of our experiences, our knowledge, some exchanges, and actually that is well appreciated. Actually, that is what we need. It is not that, see, I have, as a teacher, I have found out a way of method of teaching my students. That knowledge, that experience has to be shared with others. And others might have developed their own some methods of teaching, and that has to be exchanged with others. That's how we, in the mutual exchange, we learn and grow. So we develop the profession as well as the quality of the students are improved. So that is be appreciated, and creating such platforms here. I really thank you, sir, for the organizing this and coordinating this event. And I know that these days there are several such topics are being discussed in this platform. So thank you very much for creating such platforms. And again, of course, regarding qualitative research, there are a lot of, which is a vast ocean, right? But we need to have certain clarity, doing at least the minimum by step, and that is what I am trying to communicate or trying to engage our students with our. That is it. So thank you very much. I wish you everything, and I thank you everything, and also thank you very much to our Mary Mom. I think she left. Okay, my heartfelt thanks to her too, and she was the one to invite me. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful session and also accepting our invitation and joining us on this wonderful platform of disseminating knowledge and actively presenting and participating. We, on behalf of Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute, Center for Arts, Sciences and Well-being, we once again thank you on behalf of all the participants for joining us, and we look forward for more sessions from you in future, and we wish you all the success. Thank you for joining us, sir. We will be sharing your certificate through WhatsApp personally. And participants, kindly, we are raising the feedback form in the form of polls in Zoom platform. Kindly fill up the feedback form. It is mandatory for receiving certificate. Kindly do not close any pop-up window. Move away from Zoom platform. Everyone, kindly fill up the feedback form. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. And Joseph, sir, we are waiting for the participants to fill up the feedback form. As per your convenience, you can stay, sir. Thank you once again for joining us.
So thank you, sir. I'm leaving. Can I leave?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Dear participants, kindly fill up the feedback form raised in the form of polls in Zoom platform. There is no external link that will be provided. It is mandatory for receiving certificate. Kindly fill up the feedback form. All the participants kindly fill up the feedback form. All the participants before leaving kindly fill up the feedback form. We'll be closing it in 5 minutes, so kindly fill up at the earliest before leaving the platform. Everyone quickly fill up the feedback form. We are going to end the meeting in few minutes. We are ending the meeting. Next 30 seconds, kindly fill up the feedback form.